Good afternoon, I'm Greg Kramer with your LC Valley Evening News. A van was destroyed yesterday afternoon when it caught fire on the Lewiston Hill. Nez Perce County firefighters rushed to the blaze near the top of Highway 95. The van was a total loss. A release from the Nez Perce County Fire Department says the cause is undetermined at this time. Washington Lieutenant Governor Danny Heck and Representative Mary Dye were honored guests at the ribbon cutting for an elevator at the Petaha Flour Mill just outside of Pomeroy Saturday. The roughly $250,000 of funding for the elevator and improvements to the stairwell inside the historic building came from the state's capital budget. Before the celebration, the Lieutenant Governor spent the afternoon touring the Agriculture Museum, the fairgrounds, and touring the Mills Museum, getting a feel for life in a small town in southeastern Washington.
More communities ought to have the sense of community that Pomeroy does. We would be a lot healthier of a country if there were more Pomeroys.
First person to ride the elevator in the flour mill was the great-grandson of the man who built it in 1877. He commented that he's very glad it was bought in 1998 by John and Louise Van Vogt, who created a nonprofit to improve the historic landmark, keeping it from falling into disrepair. A new law in Idaho has students learning more about the U.S. and Northwest history and how it applies to self-governance. Governor Little signed Senate Bill 1336 that says new materials headed for classrooms will stress the importance of the founding of America and the history of communism. High school students will now have to have 2 credits of American history and 2 credits in American government. The bill itself requires students to understand the importance of the republic-style government, describing it as the supremacy of natural law over civil institutions. Students will have to read and understand 24 different historic political documents, including the Magna Carta, the Mayflower Compact, the Declaration of Independence, and the Articles of Confederation. You can put it on the calendar. The Friends of the Lewiston Library are hosting a book and DVD sale. They're raising funds to pay for things that inspire literacy, like bringing in authors, traveling in the bookmobile, and more. They're hosting it in the basement of the Lewiston City Library, April 30th through May 2nd. Your weather forecast in the LC Valley tonight, partly cloudy and 41 degrees. Tomorrow, some sun in the morning at a high of 63 degrees. Wednesday, back to a chance for rain and a high of 55. And that's your news. For more on these stories and others, head over to KOZE.com or follow LC Valley News on your favorite social media. I'm Greg Kramer. Have a great night.